everyone, welcome back to my channel. Holly here for another video. So this is the second video to the one that I uploaded yesterday. I'm hoping that they're going to upload okay. For some reason I shut my laptop off last night and I completely forgot that for me to upload my video overnight I need to keep it on. So I'm hoping that this video will follow the video that I'm trying to upload now, but we will see. So I thought today, instead of doing this bit down here, that I would actually complete an area and then that's done, and then I can sort of move on to this bit and, you know, going forward. So this is, as you can see, this is the sort of the last strip of this diamond painting. I've probably got another, as well as this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got another 7 to do, so I'll do this one, that'll be 6, and then after this one that'll be 5, and so on and so forth. So I thought I would get cracking with this one. I've got quite a few, quite a big portion of it. However, you know, when I get to this stage here it's all A, so that's pretty quick. So it won't be so bad. Just get the residue of that off. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to get cracking. I am, however, just going to pop that over there just so it protects my hands and the painting from getting skin cells and residue of oils all over it. So yeah, I'm just going to start in this corner here, and then I'm just going to work my way down. I do have a cup of tea going in mind, purely because I have just woken up. Okie dokie. I need to get some more of this in my pen. Okay, so B, and I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know, am I going to do that? I'm wondering if I should put this away tomorrow. So I'm wondering whether as I go I should pop the drills in their bigger box, this one here, to kind of, you know, make it a little bit tidy, because at the moment all of my drills are just out in these boxes on my desk and I don't like the mess. So let's go. Did quite a bit yesterday, which is good. I can probably, so after tomorrow, so I've got today and tomorrow off work, so after tomorrow I go back on earlies, and in the afternoons I tend to do my cross stitching, and then when I'm on lates, I start at 2, I'll do diamond painting in the morning. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get this finished or not for this next video. And on the 3 days off that I've got the next rotation, my mum wants me to go and see her. I mean, that's if I can get some petrol, because the UK have gone absolutely mental right now with trying to get petrol for their car. Everyone's gone into panic mode because we don't have any HGV drivers. So we're not actually short on petrol at all. We're just short on drivers. So really all that needs to happen is Boris Johnson needs to get his arse in gear and get these temporary visas issued to the rest of the European Union, because people are happy to come over and drive. You know, there's plenty of people that, you know, live in Poland and Belarus and Bulgaria and, you know, Ukraine, that are all happy to come over and do driving. But you know, when we had Brexit, a hell of a lot of those drivers went back home, and it's left us really, really short of drivers. but you know, it was going to happen. And Boris Johnson said on some kind of public domain not so long ago that under no uncertain circumstances is he going to let Europeans come over on temporary visas and work. Well, I think he's going to find himself being backed into a corner pretty soon, because if this is what it's like now before Christmas, I can only imagine what it's going to be like for Christmas. So I think I'm going to start Christmas shopping now. I mean, I do pretty much everything on Amazon anyway. Like I said, I'm very, very lazy. But, you know, it's just so much easier just to do it all on Amazon. But I might actually start now, you know, and get it done. Not that I'm going to really spend Christmas Day with my family because I'm probably working, but, you know, we'll get another day. You know, we'll sort out another day where we can all meet up and, you know, have a big dinner. And it's all about getting together as a family, isn't it? That's really all it's about. Making sure that you're with your loved ones, making that effort. So yours. But yeah, going to grocery store yesterday, and most of our grocery stores have petrol stations attached to them. They're just absolutely full of people just queuing and queuing and queuing. Now they put a limit on what you can put into your fuel tank, so I think the limit's like 30 quid, which I understand, but I've still got a quarter of a tank. However, my tank doesn't last very long. I've only got a little 1.1 run around. And obviously I've got the next few days off, so I haven't even gone into a petrol station, but I don't want to leave it until I'm on my way to work to realise that I can't get any fuel because everyone's out. I mean, why? If people stopped panic buying, there's no fuel shortage. I just don't understand it. And the thing is that it just exacerbates the problem if everyone is like, right, we might not get fuel, so, you know, I'll go and get fuel now. And not only that, more people are thinking, right, well, I'll fill up then, instead of getting the normal sort of £20 or £30 that they usually put into their tank. So the whole problem is just blown up out of proportion, and then it just becomes an issue where it really didn't need to be an issue. So, I mean, it's unreal, isn't it, really? It is unreal. Right, let's see. So yesterday I was supposed to come back and do some of my cross stitch, and I started, and then I was looking for a floss because I tend to kit up, well, I did tend to kit up, but now more so than not I do buy all of the flosses I need for the whole thing, because I use CXC, which is a hell of a lot cheaper. However, this particular one I'd kitted up page by page, and I must have stolen some from this to go into another kit, and I'm a few threads short, and I kept saying to myself, I need to at some point put on some kind of spreadsheet exactly what I've got, because I keep going through all of my stash not knowing sort of what stash I've got and what I haven't. So yesterday I became enabled and I went into procrastination mode, and I've got 577 flosses that I've got as spare. So I put them all on a spreadsheet yesterday, and I put B where it is bobbinated, and I've got multiple of many flosses, like 3865. I've got 3 of those, 3861, I've got 2 of those. 3860, I've got 4 of those. I've got so many duplicates. I don't know if I've got the whole DMC. I don't think I have got the whole DMC sort of set, if you like. But I've got multiple of lots and lots of colours. 701, I think I've got 5 of those. You know, I think over the years where I've been buying, you know, full sets, and you know, you've got certain colours that don't come out as much. So I think I probably put about 27 threads into my work yesterday, and then I was like, right, I just need to sort this out because it was driving me nuts. But what it means is if I run out of a thread, I can just refer to this spreadsheet and go, right, instead of going through my whole entire stash to realise I've not got it and that I need to put it on my order list. It just means that I can have a look at the spreadsheet really, really quick and go, yeah, I've got that, perfect, I've got one that's bobbinated already, go for that. Because I hate bobbinating, and I think that's the other reason why I also do it page by page, because I mean, I don't mind bobbinating, but it's not my most favourite thing in the world, if I'm honest. So yesterday when I was editing my video, I did it quite close up. And this one, what I might do is I might just leave it as is. Let's see. Yeah, I might just leave it as is. Just because you've got a bit more, you know, you can see a bit more. I feel like I've got my love of diamond painting back again. I really do. Yeah, I think the other reason why I kind of fell off the bandwagon for this project that I'm doing in stitching is that it's a heaven and earth design, and it is so confetti heavy. I mean, literally is one stitch change, one stitch change, one stitch change. You know what, you just get fed up with that after a while. You know, when you've got one letter in these, you know, you're like, okay, bang, done. But it's, you know, you're changing your floss out, you know, you're cutting your threads out, you're stopping your changing. It's just so time consuming. So I think I just got a bit bored, and I was just like, oh, and I kept losing interest, and once I lose interest, that's it. So, but I need to make, it's just this one area that's really confetti heavy around the border. I think I just need to, you know, just do it, you know, just work through it, because once it's done it will look lovely, but it's just the process of doing all that confetti. Oh, it drives me nuts. And that, to be fair, is probably why a lot of people have gone from stitching to diamond painting, because you don't have to go through all of that. Right. Okay. G. Hello, mate. What's the matter, sweetie? What, Bob? I know, do you want some breakfast? I'm not fidgety yet, have I? Yeah, you need to calm down a bit, sweetie, because I'm on camera. Yeah. Sorry, you can hear my cat. Rascal's come to say hello. Well, no, actually, he's come to tell me that I've not fed him yet. How very dare I? Haven't you, mate? Haven't you? Yeah, you come to tell me that I've not fed you yet. He's so vocal. I love him. It's really funny because when I watch a lot of floss tube and diamond painting videos, and I would say more so floss tube, because you know with diamond painting you kind of have to be set up at a table, but you know floss tube people are sat on sofas, they're sat on beds, you know they're sat on somewhere that's comfy on a chair, and you definitely end up having, you know, cats sitting on you if you are in a comfy space. I mean, my cat would join me on my bed if I was stitching, but he wouldn't obviously join me on my table if I was doing diamond painting. So you come to realise how many stitchers are crazy cat people. Excuse me. They all seem to have cats, and it's lush. It's lovely. My cats are my world. You're my absolute world, aren't you? Hey? You're my absolute world. You are. Yes. He's so cute. He's so affectionate as well. He's just so affectionate. I mean, he's just... They don't really, both of them mine, they don't really like being cuddled close up. So like if you picked him up and you put him on your shoulder, he would stay there and he would, you know, sort of be there for huggles and petting and things. However, if you were laid on your bed and you picked him up and you kind of sort of semi laid down, semi sat up on your bed, you know, sat against your headboard, and you picked him up and put him close to you, he wouldn't stay there very long. He doesn't like being feeling like he's restrained, which is really bizarre because they've never been in a situation where they've had to worry about that. But they're both like that. It's funny. Yet my black one, he will in the night come up to me and he will just do this kind of like pawing thing on my bedding to get my attention. I mean, this is at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, mind. 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes 6, because he wants to curl up really close to me and be stroked. And he's affectionate, but he's not overly cuddly. And you know, you'll go downstairs sometimes and he'll be on the settee and you'll go past him and he will just do this tummy roll, you know, for you to kind of tickle him under his tummy. And he loves being tickled under his arms. He picked his, you know, his arms go up outstretched for you to tickle him under his arms. He's so funny. And you know, he's another one that doesn't like to be close petted or close contact, but you know, there's times that you'll be sat on your bed and he'll just get up, you know, he'll be sleeping at the end of the bed and he'll just get up and just come and pop his bum next to you, you know, like right by your hip, because he just wants to be close to you. And it's just lovely, absolutely lovely. I think Rascal's gone now. I feel bad, I should have fed him first before I did this video, but I'm only going to be on it for an hour. And you know what, to be fair, when I started this they were both out anyway. So, and I don't like leaving it out because the next door cat comes round and then they start fighting. So, but yeah, he just came in to tell me that I haven't fed him yet. My nose is a little bit better than yesterday, but it's not as runny, but it's not perfect yet. but I don't feel like I need to stop every 5 seconds and blow it, which is good. Oh, I don't know, my Alexa's just done something. Just connected to my computer by the sounds of it for some reason. So I've got a mosquito bite that is right underneath my bra strap. Not my bra strap, you know, where you it sounds bizarre, where your boobs are, like where the wire is, the boning on the bra strap. I've got a mosquito bite that is just in that area, so it gets rubbed every day, all day, by whatever I'm doing, and it's so uncomfortable. And I think I just got reminded of that because it's really hurting, and I don't even know why I needed to tell you that, but yeah, clearly I felt like I needed to share that news with you. D, there we go. Kind of a bit of a TMI situation, sorry about that. D. We've got some big diamond paintings that I haven't finished yet. They're big peacock ones that are actually round ones. So I've done one, the one with the big chalice, but I haven't done the other two. And to be fair, they are taking up quite a lot of, you know, my storage space. These tub things, these, and you know, the boxes. So I could probably do with actually getting them done, so I can free up some of that space. Right. A couple of C's there as well. Get those done. And then it looks like I'm just on to the A. Quite like doing big areas. I do really enjoy it. I know some people don't like it, but this is, you can mess around, can't you, when you've got big areas. Dun, dun, dun. So I made lasagna last night. So for breakfast, just going back to food, breakfast, I had eggs Benedict with some hollandaise sauce. It was amazing. It was so nice. So I think I'm going to do the same again because I made enough hollandaise sauce. It's gone in the fridge for today. And then last night I made lasagna, and I always make a big one so I can, you know, freeze some of it. And that was amazing as well. So dinner for today is sorted out. I don't have to do much, which is grand. Breakfast I just need to cook. I did actually do eggs Benedict with bacon and not what do you call it, salmon. However, my poached eggs were done really nicely, and they were okay, you know, they were just slightly over. So I think this time I need to make sure that they're in there literally for like a minute and 30 seconds. For some reason I set my timer at 1 hour and 30 not 1 minute and 30, but you know, I think they'd only really been in there for about 2 minutes. And you know, I think you need to take into account, I need to take into account that when you take them out and you put them on some paper, you know, just to get the excess water, because there's nothing worse than having soggy muffins underneath. That, you know, they're still cooking because they're still hot. So it is a case of maybe take them out a little bit earlier so that if they need to sit there and rest for like, you know, 10 or 15 seconds, so you can dab the excess water off, you know, they will still be cooking. So then by the time you get them on the plate, they'll be perfect. So I think I need to work on that today. I definitely need to perfect my poached eggs, because I do love poached eggs. And you know what, they weren't crazy, they weren't really bad, but I do love to be able to put my knife in the middle and have runny eggs. It's lovely. And it's actually it's a really disappointing feeling when you do that and they're too far gone, they're too over. Oh, doesn't make for a nice, you know, a nice meal really. But I tell you what, it set me up for the day. It set me up for the day, which is fantastic. Yeah, so after I did that threading, what would you call it? Like, I don't know, spreadsheet thing. I watched something on TV last night, and I never watch TV. I was downstairs, and you know, there was this thing called the Cotswolds, travelling. I don't know whether it's called Travelling the Cotswolds, with Pam Ayres, who's a poet. And I live in the Cotswolds, and you know what? I mean, I do have an idea of how beautiful it is, because where I live, it's just stunning scenery. But it is absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And they took you down to Bradford upon Avon, Bath, and you've got obviously the hot baths down there. And then it took you to Badminton, which is where they have the Badminton horse trials that I go every single year. Well, apart from the last few years because it's not been on. And just how beautiful those grounds are. And I never realised that there's this show on Netflix called Bridgerton, and I had no idea that it was set at Badminton House. So that was interesting. And it's a beautiful house, and the Duchess and Duke and Duchess of Badminton still live there. So there's a lot of history there. And then where did it go? It went, I can't remember. There was a few places that I didn't know. But oh gosh, the scenery is just out of this world. Like England is, if you get out of the hustle and bustle of the towns, you know, and the bigger cities, and you really travel England, it is just unbelievable scenery. And there are so many places you can go, and I just, you know, I lived here all my life and I've not been anywhere, and that is so disappointing. It's disappointing, and it's also unforgivable. You know, I've never been to the Lake District. It's always somewhere that I've really wanted to go, which is where Miss Potter was filmed, and it's just stunning scenery up there. Beatrix Potter had a love for that area and that's where she wrote a lot of her books, and she got a lot of her inspiration from there. And in fact excuse me, in fact she had bought up, when she was alive years and years ago, she bought up a lot of the land that was going to be sold to developers, and now it's owned by sort of the British Heritage, so you can't buy it, you can't build on it, it's protected land. But you know, thankfully for her, the amount of land that she bought up, she's, you know, it's an area of outstanding beauty, and it's been given that name because it's just so, you know, beautiful and natural and not built on. But there's so many places like that in the UK that are areas of outstanding natural beauty, and you know, you just don't realise, do you, when you're in the the rat race of getting up, going to work, coming home, you know, not doing anything on your days off, just sitting and I mean, to be fair, I just either stitch or diamond paint on my days off. Do my horse, obviously, but I think at least before I go to the States, I think I need to start doing some, you know, some travelling, at least in my own country. I mean, geez, I'm leaving this country and I haven't been anywhere. I mean, I've been to Wales and Scotland, you know, areas of, but, you know, brief encounters. And when I went to Wales, we did Snowdonia. When I went to Scotland, we went to Edinburgh, but it was only because my brother was racing in a championship race up there, and I think we were there overnight, so we didn't even get to see, you know, Edinburgh Castle or any of Edinburgh town, or, you know, around that area. And you know, we went all that distance. How did we get up there? I think I flew. Did I fly to Edinburgh? I think I flew to Edinburgh. I think I flew from Bristol because I wasn't driving. It's like a 6-hour drive. And you know what? A 6-hour drive in the UK is so very, very different to a 6-hour drive in the US, where you've got all straight roads. Ours are like A roads, motorways, roundabout cities. Yeah, not fun. So yeah, it's a long drive, but also a pain in the bum drive. So I think I flew up there. You know what, I'm so lazy that when I lived in Southampton, I flew up to Leeds in Yorkshire as well, and that's only like a 3-hour drive. If I could fly somewhere in the UK, I'll fly. I just hate driving. I hate driving. I love driving in America. Driving in America is a whole new different experience, and it's such a nicer experience, you know, but driving in the UK is just not great. And also, the traffic in the UK is unbelievable. You know, sometimes you can be stuck for hours trying to get on a certain road. There's a perfect example. My mum lives in Chichester, and she lives on the A27, well, just off the A27, and there are like 5 roundabouts on this stretch of the A27. Ordinarily, if there's no traffic, it takes her about 15-20 minutes to get to work. Sometimes it can take her an hour just to get over that stretch of roundabouts. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So when she was asked if she wanted, or when they were told that they were working from home through this pandemic, it was a blessing in disguise for her, because she's set up at home, she does a job, she doesn't have to go into work, she doesn't have wear and tear on her car, she's, you know, starts work at 8, finishes at 4, and she's home. You know, so she has no travel time, she doesn't have to sit in traffic queues or anything like that, so she's less stressed. And you know what, for her, the pandemic actually was an advantage. I know it has obviously devastated people's lives, but you know, you come out thinking, has this been a good thing for you? And you know, personally, I've just landed a brilliant job that I started in May, and yes, it is extended. You know, it's not a permanent job by all means, because it's going for as long as this you know, Boris Johnson is saying that people need to be, well, you need certificates to go out of the UK to go into France, for example. They want outbound certificates. So as long as they're still saying they want certificates, this still runs. And as long as Boris is still saying that you have to isolate for 10 days when you come into the UK, but if you have a test on day 2, day 5 and day 8, you can still work, as long as on those days you've got a piece of paper to say that you've been tested and you're negative. As long as that keeps going, you know, we're in jobs, and we've been told that the extension's going to look at going till March now. And that for me is perfect, because I wanted to go out to the States in sort of March, April time, end of March, April time. So, I mean, that for me is fantastic, and the money is phenomenal. Like, I have never earned this much money in my life. Put it this way, I am saving between £2,000 and £2,500 a month. Which is amazing, because that money I can just put towards, you know, my business. So I just whack it all in the savings account. And I do buy a hell of a lot of cross stitch as well. I also support a horse, and without my horse I think my outgoings are like £1,000 a month, plus I've got a mortgage in estates, and it's all affordable, you know. So that just goes to show it, you know, what sort of money we're working on. And it's when you're, you know, doing other people's shifts and, you know, working sort of bank holidays and things like that where it's time and a half, you know, you can really whack up some dosh. So for me personally, it's been a good thing. Luckily, the people that in my family that have had COVID, my dad had that horrible Delta variant in what do you call it, Dubai. However, he wasn't at the time vaccinated at all because he was in a queue to get vaccinated, so it wasn't like he didn't want to get vaccinated. He did, but he had to wait his turn. He just had very, very, very mild symptoms, and my dad's like 60 odd, 65, 66, might even be 67 now. But he has got the body and the soul and the mind of like a 50-year-old. I mean, say that when he worked in Panama, we're talking, well, I don't know how long ago, maybe five years ago, just a little bit less than that. Actually no, if he's 67, it must be about 7 years ago, because when he hit his milestone of 60, they bought him a card that said 50 because they thought he was 50. You know, so he's very fit and he's very trim and he's very athletic and healthy, you know, he eats a lot of good foods. Goes on sort of 10k runs quite often. I mean, he's mad. And I think that's where my brother gets his sort of running bug from. And it's why my brother is so successful. He ran for Great Britain and was running against Mo Farah and the likes. But he only got hit very mildly, thank goodness. You know, I think he just had a slight runny nose and a bit of a cold, nothing crazy. And he's okay. So, you know, for me, the family members that, well, he's the only one I know that has had it actually. I don't think anyone else I know has had it. Luckily. You know, so for me, it's been, I wouldn't say, well, I'm going to say a good thing, and I'm going to leave that, I'm going to use that lightly because I know it's devastated families. You know, from my point of view, for my future and things like that. Obviously, it's been a pain in the bum coming to building, you know, not being able to get to the States because since March, not this year but last year, there's been a travel ban to the States. However, it has, even though I've had to stay back, you know, it's enabled me to be able to save more money. So, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. But so now my mum has been told that, you know what, you work really well being at home, we can never not get hold of you, you know, you're always available when you need to be. So, you know, if you want, you don't have to come back into the office, you know, full time. She might pop in occasionally, but, you know, she pops in when she wants to pop in. So, you know, she'll leave, you know, popping in till maybe sort of 10 or 11 o'clock when everyone's at work and the roads are a lot quieter. You know, there's a massive difference. But she's happy, you know, and she had cancer and went through chemo, so she has got quite a compromised immune system, you know, so she really was high risk, so she absolutely couldn't get it. So she basically cocooned herself at home, got deliveries for grocery, you know, didn't go out at all really. just going to move it. That's really annoying me. There we go. You know, she was very, very sensible, and she still is now. I mean, now the travel ban has been lifted, and the, you know, the non-wearing of masks is discretionary now, and you know, they're not implementing it by law. She still wears a mask when she goes out. She still sanitizes. She, you know, very, very rarely does she even go out. You know, if she'll go out if she needs to go out, you know, not because she wants to go out. You know, she didn't go crazy when they lifted the ban, and she still stayed at home, you know. So, and we were very cautious about seeing her. In fact, when we went to see her for Christmas last year, every single one of us took a COVID test. I think I took 2 or 3, because I was working in the restaurant industry, so I needed to make sure that I was 100% COVID free. So all of us, my brother and you know, all of his family, all took COVID tests before we even walked into the house. You know, it's just about being sensible, isn't it? Oh, I've got no tea left. I've got no tea left. So for her, this pandemic has been a good thing, because she's now able to work from home. And for me, it's been a good thing, because I've been able to get this job that is fantastic, and the hours are brilliant. You know, it's 3 mornings, 6 till 2. So then, like, from 2 o'clock, you've got the rest of the day and the evening. 3 afternoons, which is 2 till 10. So you've got the morning, which is great for me, because I get to do some diamond painting in the morning, go and do my horse, and then it's 3 days off. I mean, it's brilliant. The hours are great, because, you know, when you're travelling to work in the morning, I mean, I'm on the road at 5 o'clock in the morning. There's not a soul on the road, which is great, because you can just get there. You know, when you're finishing at 2 o'clock, people are still at work. So again, roads aren't overly busy. So it just works out really, really well. In fact, the only time that I really have an issue is on Saturday going to work, because there's just cars everywhere. So yes. I went to check the post box earlier, excuse me, and I've got no post. I don't even know if I've got anything being delivered, to be honest, but I love deliveries. I get so disappointed when I don't have anything delivered. You know, I'm always buying stitchy related stuff and all that jazz. I am waiting though for that stitch thing. It's on 11 count, so I've never stitched on an 11 count. It's just, for me, that's just wow, very, very big. But you know, using It says about using 3 strands, but I don't know. I did see someone else doing, excuse me, 3 strands on 11 count, and it just didn't seem enough. It just seemed very, oh, what's the word? I don't know. Just there was a lot of white space, so just it didn't look to me like there was very good coverage at all. So I might be using 4. You know, some people use 4 on 14 count for 10 stitch or half stitch. So, you know, going down to 11 count, I may just have to start using 4. Considering I use 1 strand on 20 count, going for 1 strand to 4 strands is going to be a bit of a wake-up call. Right, I decided to fill these in because my hand was getting sticky. Sticking to the diamond painting. So I'm just kind of doing an area at a time. I hope I've got another one of these because I just used the whole okay, that's 3865 because that's in there. That is God knows what. And that is God knows what. I think those two. It could be 3865. But I think that is B5200. Yeah, I think, okay, so I'm going to stick that in there, so I know. I'm surprised I haven't got another one because I don't know if that is going to be enough for all of this. Well, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? You know what I might have actually? I might have, and I probably do, a whole bag left over, because what I tend to do is when I kit up, I tend to just kit up what I need. So I'll do 1 box usually of each, which is, and I don't know why I've got 2 boxes, so that there's space. You know, so I'm not using so many boxes and I can kit up other kits. So I have probably, and I will just need to go and have a look now, probably got a bag that says Row Diamonds, Peonies, for the rest of the drills that I just need to put in. Well, I hope so anyway, otherwise, I mean, I've had this for about 2 years now. So the likelihood of me getting B5200 in the same shade as this is quite slim, which is quite worrying. You know, because B5200 are, you know, and the 3865 are, you know, pretty used, well used for background colours and things like that. So yeah, I'm going to be pretty, it's going to be pretty hard to get it the same colour. I don't think I will. if I don't know something and it does impact me in some way, I need to know now. Like, I need to know. So I'm not very good for surprises either, because I want to know where we're going and what we're doing and things like that. Right, okay, give me one sec. Right, ta-da! Pink Peonies 95 by 110 row diamonds. So here's the rest of my 5-200s and the like, which is good. So I'm a happy bunny. You know, I was looking at that thinking, goodness, that's not going to be enough for, you know, the rest of this project. And row diamonds always give you enough. I've never run out of any drills, so that's fine. That's made me happy. Thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that. I'm really looking forward to getting this finished. It's such a big project. I normally go down to my horse at about 10:30. So let's see if I can get this done in half an hour. And then what I'll do is in my next video, I will make sure that I have, you know, emptied the rest of those diamonds and topped up the pots so that I'm ready to go. So yeah, I started talking about my mum, and I don't know, I kind of went off tangent a little bit, as I do. I digress religiously when I'm talking. So so what I was going to say is my next 3 days off, my mum wants me to go down to see her, because on the 3rd of October, God, can you believe it, in October already, 3rd of October, there is a country farm on. It has lots of different animals. It's like a country agricultural farm thing, and she wants to go, but she doesn't want to go on her own, which is fine. I mean, I wouldn't want to go somewhere on my own either. So she's asked me if I would come down with her, or go down there with her. She's got 2 weeks off work, so she said, you know, you can come and spend a few days with me. So yeah, I'll go spend a few days with her. There's no problem at all. I haven't seen her since Christmas last year. Because like I said, we try and stay away from family members, and you know, we didn't all go mental to go and see each other when, you know, this thing was lifted, travel ban was lifted, you know, being able to travel anywhere and see family members. And so yeah, we kind of just kept away just to keep everyone safe, really. So is it a good idea that we go somewhere that's going to have God knows how many people? However, she's also been double vaccinated, you know, because of her having cancer. She was very, very well advised to have it. So she did. She had AstraZeneca though, which is, you know, it hasn't had very good reviews, I must admit. I've had Pfizer, and I feel a lot more comfortable with that, and I'm glad I did, you know, because because, and my dad had Pfizer as well, and I told him to get Pfizer because I knew this was going to happen. When the states ruled that if you are double vaccinated, you are allowed to travel to the US, you are, unless you are vaccinated with AstraZeneca, in which case you are not allowed to travel. How interesting. So when I said to my dad, because he was going off to get his jabs, I was like, oh, where are you going? And he said, oh, such and such. And I was like, right, so what are you getting? And he said, AstraZeneca. He said, that's the closest. I said, no, don't. I said, please don't get AstraZeneca. I said, I promise you, you're going to have problems. The states are talking about AstraZeneca not being, not only not safe, but not, you know, they don't believe that it's a good enough vaccination. And I said, you're going to find yourself that if you are vaccinated with AstraZeneca, you won't be able to travel to the States. And he was like, oh, okay. He said, the Pfizer one is a little bit further away. I think it's over an hour away. I said, look, honestly, in the long run, it's going to be worth it. Just get the Pfizer one. And for me, I felt that it's safer anyway for him. So he was like, okay, that's fine. So he went and got the Pfizer. And what's happened? Well, the US have opened their borders, and they've not opened their borders to AstraZeneca. So, thankfully, we nipped that one in the bud. Which is, it's an absolute pain in the bum, really, isn't it? For all those people, I know a lot of people have had, because I've been reading it on Facebook, a lot of people have booked the 50th anniversary for Disney World. And, you know, those, before all this rubbish came out, that you weren't allowed to go over on AstraZeneca or whatever, you know, or AstraZeneca not being safe, sorry. That you know, people were told that AstraZeneca is the best one, so go for it. And you know, these people have got tickets to Disney World and the like. Now are going to struggle because you know they're not going to be able to travel and you know do what they want to do. It's just oh god, it's just wrong. I'm sorry, it's just wrong. You know, I don't know why they can't put in some kind of clause with, I don't know, insurance to say that, you know, your travel insurance goes up by about, you know, 50 quid or something because you are vaccinated with AstraZeneca. So you're more risky. I mean, I don't really know what the issues with AstraZeneca is, and other than the blood clots that it was causing people. But I think they're saying that it doesn't work, or the efficacy is like 60% or less or something like that. I don't know. But it just seems pretty unfair that these people have done what you've told them to do and got double vaccinated, and now they're being penalised because of a vaccination that you've bought out that they haven't chosen. Because sometimes you can't even choose your vaccination. I mean, my doctors were doing AstraZeneca. You didn't have a choice of AstraZeneca or Pfizer, which is the reason why I said, okay, you know what, I'm going to see if I can go to a walk-in centre that's doing Pfizer. And they were like, okay, that's fine, but you didn't have that choice at my doctor's surgery. They were like, this is the only one that we're giving out. So, you know, it's not fair, really, is it? That those people that have done what you've told them to do, got double vaccinated, and are now being penalised because they didn't get the right one. Well, quite frankly, that's not their problem. You know? It just angers me. It angers me when people's rights are being inhibited. You know, when you are causing issues to people's lives, that's when it gets a little bit annoying for me. So this country farm that we're going to, this country kind of thing, this Sussex agricultural, whatever it is, my mum's got a puppy. Well, she was a puppy last year. She's very much a dog now. She's got I think she's got a King Charles Cavalier bitch, and walking, and she goes to the park every day, and Mum's got one of those handheld kind of tennis ball thrower things which lob the ball for miles, and she just runs after it and comes back and runs after it and comes back, and she does that for ages. I mean, Mum takes her out on an hour lunch break to the park, which is like a 2-minute walk from her house, and that's all she's doing. She's in the park and she's lobbing this tennis ball for miles, and the dog chases after it. I think so. It must do like a marathon every time it goes out. So it's definitely getting the exercise that it needs. But it's full of energy, so it would be quite nice to take it with us. Take her with us. Living in Willow. She's gorgeous. She's a kind of a tanny colour, but very light tan. Like a light white and tan colour. Very pretty. So that would be nice for her to get out. I just hope it's a nice day. You know, coming into October as well. I love October. I love autumn. I love the start of autumn and fall, because for me it's all about, you know, wrapping up warmly but not being freezing. I don't like. There's a difference between wrapping up warmly and having 50,000 layers and still being bloody cold. You know, I don't like that cold where you can see your breath. I like it to be crispy, you know, and when you're sometimes when you go down the yard to ride and it's a crispy morning and it's chilly but it's not cold, it's lovely to ride in, you know, especially when the sun is shining, so you get the warmth from the sun but it's not freezing. You know, the difference between winter is you very seldom get that, you know, warmth from the sun, because it's just miserable. Well, it is in the UK, obviously it's not elsewhere. Like a winter in the States is going to be so totally different to here. So okay, so it's only 10:04, so I think I'm cracking on with this really well. Speeding up a little bit. There are certain things though that I just do want to stitch. So this beautiful peony thing that I own, peony, that I've charted myself, that's I want to stitch. I'm doing a Heaven and Earth design by Amy Stewart. It's a big bookcase. It's called Bountiful Bookshelf, and it's absolutely stunning. That I want to stitch because of the detail. The likes of the, you know, A Stitch in Time, Amy Stewart again, you know, with all of that detail on those 4 shelves, that I want to stitch because of the detail. Now I know that you get detail with this, the bigger you go, but actually it's better if you've got something with a lot less detail for diamond painting. So like, for example, like I did a big rose. Well, that's beautiful. That hasn't got a huge amount of detail, and that looks lovely the bigger you go. So, you know, things like that. This has and hasn't got a lot of detail. It does, but it doesn't really. So you can get away with doing the diamond painting in this one that I'm doing. Obviously, the bigger you go, the better it comes out. And you know, when I was doing it with Samantha, when we were doing, you know, the mock-ups, you know, we were just going bigger and bigger and bigger until we got to a size where it was like, okay, that actually looks really good. So there are some things that absolutely need stitching because of the detail is incredible. are some things that actually, you know, to save time, just pop it on a diamond painting instead. So the spices, it does have detail, but it doesn't at the same time. It has big detail, it doesn't have small intricate detail. So again, I can get away with doing that as a diamond painting, however it needs to be big. So the little detail that it has got there is you know, is made awares, and you can really see it, which is why I'm having it redone. I think that's going to cost me over 100 quid. So yeah, I'm just just making sure that I've got the right amount of money in my savings. At the end of the day, like, you know, savings comes first, so I make sure that I've got a minimum of £2 in there every single month that I put away, and then I make sure that all my bills are paid, and then after that, whatever residual money is left over is mine, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm, you know, I'm working, and I don't want to be, you know, working for this money and not being able to enjoy it a bit. You know, it's the first time in a long time that I've ever been in a situation that if my car went on the blink or I needed to buy a new car, I've got the money to do it, and I wouldn't really worry about it too much, you know. Or if, for example, you know, I wanted to kind of spend out on, like, for example, I've spent out on a frame, an Omnic frame. It's 130 odd euros, which, you know, isn't a lot of money, but it is. When you haven't got it, it is a lot of money. And it's only a cross stitch frame. However, it's not. It is so much more than a cross stitch frame. So I am looking forward to getting that very, very soon. I ordered it maybe last week sometime. So I don't think it'll be long. Actually, that reminds me, I need to check out the tracking to find out where it is, you know, in the system. Because I think I'm going to end up with a customs bill, which is going to be great, isn't it? Good old Brexit. Because it came from Ukraine, I think. So it does obviously all depend if I get tagged for customs, but considering it's coming over with DHL, I think that's probably a given. We'll see. But it's, I think it was like 100 quid, so I think the customs bill's only going to be about 10 or 15 quid on that. So it shouldn't be too bad, but use a ruler for the edge. I know some people do, but I actually just found that when I used a ruler compared to me doing it myself, it looked no different. Really, it didn't. And you know what, when it's framed and it's up, no one is going to notice anything, and I just found it so much quicker just doing it. Just do it. My hand is a lot steadier today. I don't know whether it's just you know, muscle, where I haven't used my hands in this way for a long time. I don't know whether it was just like, you know, a little bit of muscle weakness, and after doing, you know, a few hours of diamond painting yesterday, it kind of just strengthened them up a little bit, you know, just got that muscle memory going. So my hands aren't as shaky today. But wow, when I first started yesterday, it was crazy. They were really shaky. I've been uploading my video now for, well, since I woke up this morning, which is about 8 o'clock. And this is how slow my internet is. I've uploaded 12%, which is the reason why my videos have got to be uploaded overnight. And even overnight, you know, sometimes I'll go to work, you know, on a evening shift, and in the morning it's uploaded by about, you know, 60%, if that, not even. And it takes until me coming home at like 10-11 o'clock at night for it to actually upload, you know, fully process. It's unbelievable. Our internet's just disgraceful. And the thing is, I can't even tether it to my phone. I've got like 5G on my phone because it's always slower when you tether. It's always much, much slower. So, yeah, just gonna have to bite the bullet, deal with it. We're just still on, I think it's cable actually. We're not even on that supersonic stuff, what do you call it? Fibre. We're not even on that. We're nowhere near getting on that. And I live in the country, so in the village, and the village is expensive. So you know, we are full of what I would call autumnal, let's just put it that way, autumnal people in their day and their life. So they are kind of coming up to retirement or retired because it's an expensive village, because it's just beautiful. So they don't really require super fast broadband, because a lot of them, you know, they're that age where they've kind of not been brought up with the internet. They might have email and, you know, things like that. And but unless you've got, you know, a younger generation, like today's generation, where, you know, they're all YouTube, you know, fanatics, and uploading this, uploading that, downloading, and, you know, gaming is a big thing. And when you're doing online gaming, you need fast internet. Because we don't have that audience, there is no real kind of push for getting faster broadband, and that's what I'm battling with. If, however, I lived in Gloucester, I would have really super fast broadband, because, you know, there'd be a need for it. But I live in the middle of a village that's just got no need or call for it. Put it this way, like from a youngster's point of view, unless you're rich or you've got a job paying you like 60-70 grand a year, you're not going to be able to afford to live in Maysmore. So the people that live here, you know, have lived here for many years, and probably moved here when it was a bit cheaper, and have lived here for, you know, the foreseeable of their life, and or they've retired, they've sold up where they are and they've retired, so they've got a pretty big amount of capital that they can pop into the house and are on a good pension. You know, it's just unaffordable, really. Yeah, which is, you know, why I think it's like a little bit disgraceful that we've had big building companies come in and build, you know, some homes in the area. And I just think, you know, it's kind of ruined the aesthetics of the village. You know, it's an older village with older houses, and all the houses are individual, and you know, they've got their own history. And then we've just had at the top of the village a builder come in and build a load of bloody houses. And you know, in the middle of the village we've got like a sort of, you know, you go up a hill and up to the back, you know, we've had another developer build a load of houses, and you think, no, that isn't right in a village like this. You know, this village, it requires, I don't know what it would just delicacy with homes, not those squared boxes that go up and all look the same. You know, if a developer came in and built homes that all looked different but kind of merged in with the aesthetics of the village, then I'd absolutely, you know, appreciate that. That's fine. But you know, we've got a doctor's surgery up in course that is, you know, up to its limit with, you know, intakes. So all these new houses, and obviously more people are using schools, and then because, you know, it's youngsters that are buying these houses, you know, sort of 30-40 year olds that have got families, so they're going to need the doctor's surgery. They're also going to need schools for their children, and we just don't have the infrastructure to be able to deal with that. You know, we've only got one doctor's surgery, we've only got one school in Harbury, so it just, I don't know, it just does anger me a little bit because I just feel like they're destroying I just do feel like they're destroying history, really. Right, on that note, that is me done. So, oh, I'll just knock that on the floor, that's fine. So, gonna do this one next time. I don't know if I'm gonna stick that in a video or not. Let me know if you'd be interested in watching that. If you're not, then great. If you are, then great. So I will leave it there, and whatever you're doing today, have a great time and enjoy it. If you're stitching, then enjoy your stitching, and if you're diamond painting, then enjoy your you time. And I will see you on my next video. Bye!